Hello and welcome back everyone, we are of course back, and today, as you can see, we are back on Hypixel Skyblock. Now, today's video is all about how to use the Beastiary, which you will find right here. And now this thing here is a very helpful thing to level up, because as it is in the combat skill area, you know, it'll give tons of combat XP. Over time, this will give you 1,000,000 combat XP every other level that you get in it, which is gonna take some time once you get going, but it will really be a big boost to your combat XP. And for each level that you do get, you'll also get the +2 health. Don't mind that bizarre flip right there. Basically, the way that the Beastiary works is almost any creature that you can kill in Skyblock, you will be able to get a Beastiary thing for it. For example, if you kill creatures on your private island, say the zombie, then you'll get, you know, a bit of leveling for that. For witch, spider, skeleton, all of these, you'll get a bit of leveling. And for every 10 times that that happens, so for example, if I killed, 75 witches, leveled this up again, then it would go up by 1. So every 10 times that you do that, you level up and get 2 health, or, once again, up to 1,000,000 combat XP every other time. Now, I'm not going to be able to show that this time, because, I've got a while to go till I'm on that one, but after a certain amount of time, I believe it's at, Beastiary level 17 or 15 or something like that. It's kind of a random number before 20. You'll get a couple 100,000 if I remember right, and then after that you'll get 1,000,000 every other 10. And you'll also, of course, get the 2 health. It's a very simple system once you kind of figure it out, but obviously kind of confusing to start with. So, let's get started on the private island. Okay, so here we are. As we all know, the private island does spawn some creatures. It's not too many, but over time, things like the enderman, the spider, the skeletons there, all that will spawn. And for each time that you kill those, you will level up your Beastiary just a little bit. And, of course, once again, there's not too many creatures here, but it will add up because, you're at your private island quite a lot. And you, of course, don't want to get murdered while you're here, so you're going to end up killing these, and then over time you'll level that up. So anyway, the next place to go is, of course, back to the hub, and basically we're going to want to go just right on over here to the graveyard and crypt area, which is, once again, just right over here. And you're going to be down here killing crypt ghouls a ton for easy combat XP and slayers anyway. So, you will level this up really easily. I mean, I think I've killed, let's see... yeah, a lot of these. 5,000. Almost 5,500, which is insane. Anyway, the next place you're going to want to head over to is not the spider's den. We're just going to stay at the hub, and we are going to want to head right on over to that castle there. Okay, so now that we're at the gate, we're just gonna basically go around killing the wolves. Now, these things do not spawn as frequently as the zombies do, and the old wolves are definitely harder to kill than the crypt ghouls, but whatever can level up your Beastiary, you're gonna want to go for, even if you can only get a couple of them. Because a couple is actually still really helpful, because then you're starting out a new Beastiary, and that couple will still level up a bunch, if that makes any sense, because it of course goes up more and more each level. So, for example, let me see if I can... So for something like Arachne, where I only have it level 3, it'll take, 10 kills to level it up again, as compared to the, Ferocious Spiders, where I would have to kill 1,000, or 1,500 just to level it up again, because that's at level 6. Okay, so now that we're done here, you are of course going to want to kill the old wolves too, but those have 15,000 health, so when you're kind of a bit newer into the game, you're not going to want to be killing those for your main Beastiary XP, because, that's going to be pretty hard to deal against something that's killing you at the same time. Anyway, Next up, we are of course going to be going to the good ol' Spider's Den. Okay, so now that we're here, you've got basically two options for how you want to level up your spider bestiary. If you're a bit lower tier, you know, newer to the game, you're going to want to go over to this mountain here. And you can kill the creatures pretty easily. The highest health thing here that isn't going to be a rune kind of enemy is going to be the Ferocious Spider with like 1000 health, which even when you are a bit new shouldn't be too hard if you've kind of gone around and gotten started first. And they really don't have any special abilities, so even if you don't one-shot them, they're going to be really easy. And then the place for if you're a bit farther into the game, you know, got better stuff, can do a couple thousand damage per hit, you're going to want to just run on over here. Also, while we are running, I would like to say, you know, if you like the video, if it helps you at all, make sure to leave a like, you know, subscribe, all that. It helps out a ton. Anyway, so here, the lowest things are going to have like 4500 health, which is a big difference, you know. And once again, if you're a bit farther along, then you can still one-shot them really easily. A ton of them spawn here, so especially if you are kind of onto the stage for a Flower of Truth, like I am, you can really easily rack up kills on various spiders in the spider den. Which, let me get over to a safer area, just over here. Which basically is going to help you a ton, because it doesn't really matter the level of the creature, like whether it's in that mountain or if it's in the cave, you'll still level it up just the same. So the Ferocious Spider can be level 10 or it can be literally level 50. It'll still go towards your bestiary. And so basically that's kind of why I say, you know, if you're low level, go there, if you're higher level, go here. It doesn't really matter, just one way or another, you will be able to kill them pretty easily. And also, while you're down there, you can also try to kill the Arachne boss, which will, once again, help you with your bestiary for that. Because the fun part about the bestiary is, the only thing that you can't really get any levels for killing is, like, the Slayer bosses, which, I mean, you're basically killing and farming at other mobs anyway for those, so it's kind of, it's alright. But literally, by going through the catacombs even, you get things. By fighting just literally almost anything you can fight in the catacombs, anything you can fight in the Spooky Festival, in the park, which we'll get there soon, just all over the entirety of Skyblock, you can get bestiary levels, which is going to help a ton. Anyway, the next place you're going to want to go is up over onto this hill, and you can kill these skeletons over here called gravel skeletons. They are very easy to kill, and yeah, they don't spawn too fast, so you're not going to get too high of a level on those unless if you really farm it, but they will help give you a couple more levels just for an easy, you know, couple levels if you need it. Anyway, the next place is of course the end, so I'll meet you there. Now that we're here, you've got a couple of options once again. You can kill the Endermen that are up here. Now keep in mind, this is of course for when you're a bit later on. These do have, you know, almost 5,000 health each, and these are the lowest health ones, so be careful. But basically you can run through here and easily just go around killing them. It's no big deal, especially if you have a good clearing weapon like a Flower of Truth or Frozen Scythe like I went over in the Zealot farming video. Or, if you want a bit more combat XP but still to farm the Enderman, you can go a bit lower where they'll be higher level, you know, higher health, more dangerous, and you'll be able to just take them out like this. Once again, kind of like with the spiders, it's basically the same, but you know, one will give you different amount of combat XP and be a lot harder to kill. Anyway, now that we're down here, you're of course going to want to go through here. Now, once you're in here, there are a ton of different creatures that you can kill. There are the Zealots, which we have gone over before. There are the Endermites, which are very, not common. Or, they are common, but they're not, like, as common as the other things, of course. And you can actually get the Watchers to shoot them at you, which is really weird. And also you can of course kill the Watchers and the Obsidian Defenders for more bestiary leveling. Once again, basically anything you find here, you can use for the bestiary. Even random bosses like the, one second. This is just very, very rude. Here, let me climb up here real quick. Even random bosses like the, Endstone Protector, which is a pretty uncommon boss from what I've seen, you can still level your bestiary from that. Even these creatures, which I still haven't found, you can level with your bestiary. You know, dragons, literally everything. Anyway, the next place we're gonna want to go is actually the park. Which is really weird to say, since it still feels weird that there's actually creatures there to kill. Okay, so now that we are actually at the park, we're going to basically go to a little secret area behind the waterfall, you know. This waterfall right here at the birch part of the park, we're gonna go through here. You of course don't have to teleport, but it's just easier that way. And you're going to want to make sure that you brought a Super Boom TNT. Or I think there's a method where you can use a horse pet to go through, but yeah. Oh, that was a waste of one of our Super Boom TNTs. And basically you're just going to want to run through here, and you'll find various creatures with 7,000 or 6,000 or some with a lot more health, if I can find one. Yeah, there's a lot of people here right now, so I don't think I'll be able to. Yeah, like 30,000 health for this one. Once again, I'm not really in my fighting set. This is more like a mage set, but still. And as you can see, not many of them spawn, and there's also a lot of people here. But this will still, once again, give you a bunch, or not a bunch, but a couple easy bestiary levels. As you can see here, I don't have any of them very high level, but this has given me a solid like 5 or so levels, I think, if they start out at level 1. If not, then that's even better. I kind of forget the exact way they start out, but anyway, that is pretty much a very simple way that you can get combat XP and bestiary levels in here, and it's of course the easiest way to do the you know, Wolf Slayer boss. And anyway, we are on to the final of the easy, you know, early-ish game ways to farm combat XP and bestiary levels, which is... or actually, not the final, we've still got 2 more. The Deep Caverns will be next, because there is a ton of stuff here, basically anything you can kill, once again, and of course the Deep Caverns have a lot of stuff to kill. Anyway, for those of you that have not been here before, this is the Deep Caverns. It is an amazing place to mine if you're still leveling mining XP early in game, or early game, but it's also an amazing place to kill various creatures. For example, the Lapis Zombie, then there's a ton of them here, so you can of course get a ton of easy bestiary. And they of course only have 200 health, which makes them very prime candidates for killing to get bestiary levels. You know, they don't spawn too much, but they do spawn pretty actively, and you'll definitely be able to see that by just running around here. There shouldn't really be any time where you don't have a Lapis Zombie to kill, is basically the best way to explain it. And then once you're kind of past those, then you can come down here. You know, say you've gotten as many as you want. Like I have about, let's see, yeah, I've killed 500, and I could kill 500 more to level up, but you know, it's easier to kill other creatures than come here. I'm of course going to level it more, I'm just saying right now. And so say you get to that point where you'd rather go for a different creature, then you can come down here and go for the zombie redstone piglin, or pigmen, whichever, you know, version of Minecraft you're doing. And these are going to be harder to kill, because if you take more than one shot to kill them, then you are of course going to be in a bit of a annoying situation, since they are still pigmen and are all going to try to attack you. Yeah, like that. But otherwise, it is pretty safe to traverse in here. You're not going to run into too many issues. And once again, they spawn pretty common too. And yeah, just get a good clearing weapon and you can be through here like nothing. So once again, when you're done killing the pigs, and you know, it's to the point where you want to go for another creature, you can of course find your way to the next level, which I hate pigmen, so I'm just going to go to the elevator over here again for it. The next level being Slime Hill, which is kind of not accurate since it's a cave and not a hill, but we'll let it pass. Anyway, here you're going to find a ton of slimes, which actually will be super easy for you to kill, because they get stuck very easily. They can't even go into all of the areas in this area. Like for example, if I was fighting this slime, it's kind of hard to demonstrate since I'm using the Guardian Pet, but yeah, basically they will not be able to follow you in some areas if you choose your placing correctly. And they actually have really low health compared to the other two. So you're going to be able to come through here really low level, and it'll be a really easy time. Now, they will of course do a ton of knockback, and honestly not too much damage for how big they are. But then you're going to want to go on to the next level, the Diamond Reserve. But I'm not even going to show this one because the Obsidian Sanctuary is basically the same thing, but better. So here you're going to find minor zombies and minor skeletons. And I do not mean children zombies and children skeletons, I mean minors. Anyway, these will have, 300 health. Once you can one-shot them, this will be extremely easy. You can run through here, you can take them out, and it'll be no big deal. You can also, of course, get a ton of diamonds by running through here with a pickaxe, or some of the drills, but by the point when you're getting a drill, you're not going to be coming through here very much. Especially not for actual mining. Anyway, you can, go through here until you're done, and then eventually you're going to be able to go to the Dwarven Mines. Now, by the point when you're going to the Dwarven Mines, you basically should know all the creatures that you have to kill there, but we're going to go there anyway. Okay, so now that we're here, we're going to go over to the area with the good old, where are they? The Ice Walkers, which will drop this incredible armor right here. And there's also Goblins and all that. And you'll basically find them the easiest by exploring, but just to kind of show for example purposes right now, we're going to go on over here. I don't mind the quick teleporting. And okay, I just realized I was going the complete wrong way. You're going to want to go, once again, the complete opposite way that I was going. Come through here, and just go through anything like that, because those aren't worth it in my opinion. I think they drop mithril dust, but it's just not worth it, as I said. So over here you'll find the Goblins. Very easy to kill. A lot of them. You can easily run through here getting a ton of bestiary levels. And then over here, this is a bit more complicated. They will take almost no damage from your normal weapon. Now, I'm of course showing that with my hunter knife, once again for example purposes. So if you take out a pickaxe against these, Ice Walkers, you'll do a ton more damage. That's 20,000 damage with a pickaxe, which is not really going to happen in most other scenarios. And basically, of course, because they are ice. They're not going to be very easy to take down with a normal weapon, but a pickaxe will get the job done. Anyway, we've got one final place to go, and I'm going to meet you there. Okay, so here we are, once again in the dungeon, 2 videos in a row, and I'm here to basically say, you know, this is another amazing way for easy bestiary levels. Now, I do suggest going to the low levels of the dungeon, because, hear me out here, you'll be able to kill things like the, where is it, Lost Adventurer, Angry Archaeologist, anything that's normally kind of difficult at your normal level. You'll be able to kill them super easily on levels like the entrance, like I'm on right now. And all of these other creatures, you'll be able to just mow through like absolutely nothing. It's going to be no big deal to you because, you know, you're going to be doing tons and tons of damage to them. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and open this secret, because there's no reason not to. And that's basically it. You can run through dungeons, take out tons and tons of enemies, literally get a good clearing weapon, and you will be just golden. Watch this right here. Tons of easy kills. No big deal. Everything but the normal zombies, I think, counts, and even some of those still count. You know, sometimes the Flower of Truth isn't too accurate, but yeah, basically you just run through here, tons of bestiary levels. No big deal at all. Once again, of course, go to the low levels. It won't give as good of loot, but it'll give tons and tons and tons of easy bestiary stuff. I mean, look at that. These things, they do nothing. The only thing that damaged me was that trap. And then, at the end, you can actually also get the, where is it? Undead, and the actual boss things at the very end. You can kill them way easier too. I generally, honestly, kind of struggle with them at my level. But if I do them on this level, I can take them out super easily and basically be able to do the bestiary with no problem. That is a weird time to level up Rotten Flesh, but yeah. This is the single best way to level up your bestiary in my opinion. Just because you can come here and there's really no limit to it. You get a ton of extra stuff with it, tons of loot that you can sell, and tons of different creatures that'll give you bestiary XP, and it's just all around the best way to do it. Once again, this is just my opinion. If any of you find a better way to actually farm bestiary levels, then definitely leave it in the comment below, or in the comments below. But yeah, this is definitely my favorite. Anyway, if any of you liked this video, hit the like button, it helps out a ton. If you have anything to say, any suggestions for future videos, whatever, make sure to leave a comment saying what those might be. And definitely make sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to see what's in store for the future, because there are definitely big plans for future guides, and also, I think we are coming up on the mid-game guides soon enough, and also, you know, the updated versions of older guides like the money making and all that. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. Till next time, everyone, and goodbye.